Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently just about ready to bring back our people from our Ike landing. And we're going to get a ridiculous amount of science, and this may actually just completely finish out our science tree for us, which will be exciting. But first, we need to get to our actual intercept point. So let's just hop over to a Kerbin focus, and you can see what our planned interception is here. That'll be just fine. I'm going to warp to about right here, though, rather than all the way to our maneuver. Because I just want to make sure that we are correctly aligned and that we're completely good to go. So that'll be fine. And actually, I need to move my monitor a little bit because it was slightly hidden behind one of my other monitors. There we go. Problem solved. So we've got another 10 days to warp in here. And I'm not sure what our directionality as opposed to Kerbin is. But we're currently cruising pretty quickly. We're not quite in Kerbin space. Now we are. That, I believe, is Minmus. And that's Kerbin, and that's Moon. Fantastic. Okay, so here we are. We are plummeting towards our planet. So that's fantastic. We are currently in our designated attitude here to get to this orbit, and this, as I said in the last episode, may end up taking multiple aerobraking passes. We'll have to see. I'm going to warp a little closer here. Things are looking good so far. Excellent. Just going to adjust my attitude ever so gently there. Okay. Come in just a little bit closer. So this node is in T-minus 2 minutes 30 seconds. This is a 1 minute 26 second burn. So we want to burn this at about, let's see, 30 plus 13 seconds. So at about T-minus 43 seconds. We'll go ahead and warp towards that manually. So T-minus 43. So here in about 10 seconds. And this is actually going to be a pure retrograde burn. So we're going to do that, and we're going to burn it right now. Let's just begin slowing down, because we have a lot of speed to bleed off here. Okay, we are officially in orbit around Kerbin again. Fantastic. And any additional speed that we can bleed off will be beneficial. We're going to stay in orbital mode for the time being, and we're going to bleed off just 500 more meters per second. We're going to be in atmosphere momentarily. We are now officially in atmosphere. Which of course means that our thrust to weight is a little lower, but that's okay. We've already bled enough speed. This is a very shallow approach trajectory. And we're pushing it down to about 40k, which is still pretty shallow as far as these approaches go. So we're going to be, actually we may as well grab this atmospheric analysis. Oh, it's stowed, right. That's fine. We're just staying retrograde and burning as hard as we can right now. We're burning out this stage in its entirety. You can see here, we are getting further away from that. That's fine. Atmospheric drag is continuing to slow us down. And I'm starting to think that we may not bounce out of the atmosphere. That'd be a good thing. You'll notice that I am not currently ejecting these bits here. That's because we're using all of this to help slow us down a little faster by increasing our surface area. Although now we're starting to see some pretty severe overheating effects. And we're going to ditch them relatively soon to keep our heat low. But not for a little bit here. We're still cruising pretty quickly. But our apoapsis is coming down. And actually, our heat appears to be stabilizing. We'll keep these as long as we can to increase our drag. Our periapsis is sufficiently low now. We're not slowing down as much as I'd like to see. That's for sure. We're still pretty high up, though, so I think we're okay. Let's go to radar altitude mode. We're drifting. Slightly off of retrograde. We want to be on surface retrograde. There we go. At this point. That'll be fine. Good thing we've kept the increased surface area, that's all I have to say. We're down under 2 kilometers per second. And we're starting to decelerate pretty quickly. We're not even in this part of the atmosphere yet where we're going to do our primary deceleration. I think we're completely fine. Like, our heat is going down. Our heat is actually gone. We could actually attempt to land this entire thing. We're going to land in the water, so landing legs aren't going to be very useful, but we could attempt to save a little money. And I think that's what we'll do. Okay, we're tumbling, but that's fine. That's actually ideal. We didn't really tumble, we just kind of went for an even larger surface area. I like it. We're going to try to fight our way back to surface retrograde. Now that our drogue chutes are deployable, that'll pull us over. Fantastic. Main chutes are deployable now. Okay. And now we should be able to physics warp this down to the water. And we'll see what kind of impact velocity we'll have if we need to drop this weight or not. You know what? We may as well grab this atmospheric analysis. There we go. Collect all that. Fantastic. And our chutes are going to start deploying shortly, slowing us down even further. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Even at 4x time acceleration, it's going to take a little bit to fall the last 500 meters. But that's okay. So we'll just let this come on down, and then we're going to see what ludicrous amounts of science we get from the surface of Ike. Okay, we'll come off of physics acceleration. I don't like to be on physics warp when we impact. Glorious. We can grab a gravity scan here. And so we shall. Okay. Well, let's see what we get there. World first milestone. Returned home from the surface of Ike. Returned from a flyby. From orbit. Flyby and orbit of Duna. That's a lot of money. We'll recover that. That'll get us a decent chunk of our money back from that flight as well. Especially since we recovered the full landing stage. Look at that. 6,590 science. That is absurd. That is truly absurd. Contract complete. Science data from surface of Ike. First scientific data from Ike. And science data from space around Ike. So that's 2 contracts done as well. That is rather huge. What do we want to do here? Transfer any crew between vessels near the sun. That'd be easy enough to do. Okay, we could grab that. Science data from space around Gilly is something we can do literally right now. Or, not literally right now. We don't have something over Gilly, do we? We have something over Eve. We'll have to check on that. We may have to send another communication satellite up. That's not a big deal. Let's check that right now, actually. So we are going to check Eve here. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, we have a Raven 0H around Eve, but we don't have one around Gilly. We may want to get one anyway, so we'll probably do that. We could redirect the Raven 0H to intersect Gilly, but that sounds like work. So I think I'll not do that. I'm feeling lazy. Okay, so we are full up on contracts. Of course, we should be able to max out... Oh yeah, we can definitely max out our science. There we go. There's all of our parts. No more science there. And we may as well, I guess, fully upgrade the KSC. It's not like we're going to be short on money. Excellent. We actually are going to be a little short on money. We'll get that fully upgraded. The only thing that we do not currently have fully upgraded is the tracking station, and I guess we'll go ahead and upgrade that. There we go. We've still got a decent amount of money, but that should be everything fully upgraded. Excellent. And now, we can hop into here. We no longer care about science, right? So we can do a research rights sellout. 100% commitment. So we would sell all of our science for just some quick cash. We don't need the science anymore. Yes. Okay, so there we go. And then we probably want to... Let's see, that's 21% of our reputation gains. I'm going to cancel this strategy for right now. I want to check... Can't afford this, not enough science. Oh, okay. Setup cost is 2,700. I should have done that. Okay, that's fine. We can always just sell it out again later, or we could just save up for the 2,700 science. That's probably the better way to do it. So for right now, let's check in on our long-term projects. We have several of those still ongoing. We have wrapped up a couple of them. It seems to me like the habitation module should have a maneuver node. Shouldn't it? Oh, yeah, it's docked up. Why is it showing up as its own thing? I'm confused. Did this become the primary ship? Maybe it did. Station. Solar. Gateway. Okay, there we go. We'll maybe have to change that if we undock that, but we are not going to undock that, so it should be fine. So that would be the solar gateway there, and the solar gateway itself... Yeah, that looks fine. I think? Wait a second, where's the solar gateway? Oh, we're not tracking stations. That'll do the trick. And technically, the ice cream maker should really be reclassified as a station. But that's okay. We know that it's a station. Okay, so in terms of our long-term flights here, we've got 216 days on the auxiliary module, and we've got 309 days on the science rover. So I think we may as well send a Raven 0X towards Gilly, because we've got quite a bit of time. So let's open this up. And in fact, this would not be a Raven 0X. This would be a Raven 0S, like this. Actually, do we have a more modern version of this? So let's see here. This guy... Yeah, not this one. Raven 0H. No. I know we've got one here. Where is it? Raven 1S? This might be it. Yeah, this is it here. So I think we ditch this lifting portion. And we... Don't save that. We bring in the SLS. We are not going to need the full SLS for this. There's no doubt about that. This is fully unnecessary. This is way more thrust to weight than we are ever going to need. So we do something like this. The fairing would go up here in theory. These engines are really messed up. Okay. So we'll have to take a quick look at some of this. That's fine. This is way more thrust to weight than we need for sure. This is this 1.7 and 0.85. Interesting. But this is frankly going to be a ludicrous amount of DV. Okay, so those fall off, and then we need... This guy goes up here, this guy goes here, this engine fires here. We have 919 meters per second. Fairing deploys, we'll do that manually. And then, yep, okay. So, I mean, this is a more modern launch solution. But let's check our aerodynamic overlay. Should be fine. Okay, I guess we'll send it. I mean, this is massive overkill. But it can go literally anywhere. I mean, it could anyway. But, yeah, this is just a ludicrous amount of overkill right here. I love this bit sticking out of the fairing. It's not physics enabled. I'm sure it's fine. And off we go. And yes, I'm not bothering to check for launch windows. That's too much like work. Can't be bothered. Okay, I'm just going to start very cautiously pitching downrange. Kind of like this. Just trying to stay within the prograde marker, but just pulling it over a little bit. I'm slightly concerned about some feedback that I'm feeling here in terms of aerodynamic pressure. That said, apoapsis is 40k, and we should be fine at this point to pitch much more aggressively. Fantastic. And in fact, we may as well just be at the horizon right now. Glorious. Okay. We don't need to continue firing our engines because we have plenty of altitude and time to get there. So we'll just do a quick circularization, kind of like that. Lock to that maneuver node. We'll deploy our fairing. That is no longer necessary. And this is a decent launch profile, I suppose. We're going to need to burn this at T-minus 43 seconds. Actually, that'll change once we exit here. Okay, T-minus 35 seconds is when we need to burn this. Gonna physics warp as we turn towards the maneuver node. There we go. Our reaction wheel is not very strong right now, but that's to be expected. So T-minus 35 seconds is when we are warping towards. And actually, we should probably extend our solar panels. There we go. And we'll be burning this momentarily. This thing does have a thermometer on it, doesn't it? Should have checked that earlier. Surely it does. It doesn't? Well, what's the point of launching this then? I should have checked that earlier. How could I have not put... Okay. I guess we're bringing it back. Where are we currently re-entering? Over there? That's fine. I can't believe I didn't put a thermometer on this. Wait, there is a thermometer on this. It's right here. Okay. Well, this is awkward, because we're re-entering. Okay. Whoa. Whoa. Let's, not be physics warping right now. And let's just burn retrograde. Let's bring this down and try again. I thought I missed the thermometer on there. It's entirely my fault. But, yeah, we're gonna bring this in. We're gonna see if we can recover any of this. It's gonna be spicy. It may be a complete loss. We'll see. We're losing attitude. Okay. Just whipped around there. Considering that was 1x time acceleration, that means that this is, in fact, a complete loss. Okay, that's fine. I thought there wasn't I thought there wasn't a thermometer on there. I expected it to be larger than this, I guess. I completely missed it there. Well, that's fine. We'll take the hit, and we'll relaunch this. Kaboom. Apologies, that was exceptionally loud. I'm not sure why, but it kind of deafened me. Okay, so we'll try that again. That was, entirely my own fault. I attempted to abort the flight, but we definitely do have a thermometer on this, so it was entirely unnecessary. Well, I'm just going to launch this and get it into orbit this episode, and then we'll take it to its destination a little bit later. So let's get out of here. And let's get out of here. And actually get into orbit this time without me freaking out and aborting it for no real reason. That would be good. So that was just a complete and total waste of money. There was no way that I could get it flipped back around to prograde in time to salvage that, so it was what it was. We're going to go ahead and start turning here. Just a little bit. If I go too far, we'll lose attitude at this altitude, which I'm not currently interested in doing. Okay, now we should be okay. So we'll just pull this prograde marker right on over. Might as well be at the horizon at this point. No real reason not to be. Our apoapsis is plenty high. And now we'll just continue burning our SRBs only for the moment. Turning our liquid-fueled engines on again to get us separation. There we go. And off. Fantastic. And now this time, I'm actually going to circularize. Something kind of like this will do. We'll lock to that maneuver node. Ditch our fairing. Gonna physics warp as we turn here and get out of the atmosphere. 1 minute, 11 seconds. So T minus 35.5 seconds is when we want to burn this to get into orbit. Okay, T minus 35.5. Right now. And off we go into orbit. For realsies this time. Another 50 seconds left in this burn. We should probably extend our solar panels. No real reason not to. Time to apoapsis is reducing, so that is good for our efficiency ratings. It's going to start going up here in a moment, though. Yep, there it goes. That means we burned slightly early, but it's fine. Okay, we are in orbit. Good enough. We'll save the extra 30.5 meters per second. It was just going to become more elliptical anyway. So there we go. We're properly in orbit now. And it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to take this spacecraft to the orbit of Gilly. Well, we're probably not going to get there, but we'll get it started. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.